So in today's class, we will be covering following topics. So first is working with tuple. Okay. Next is working with set, and third is working with dictionary. Okay. So I have told you there are basically four types of arrays that exist in Python. So first one was list. So list we have already covered. There are few methods that are pending in the list. Next is tuple, and next was set and dictionary. Okay, so we will be covering this one by one. So today's class is very important. Okay, so these are the core data type of Python, and you should understand this very carefully, and you should remember these things. So now, at least you should have the knowledge of when should we use tuple, when should we use set, when should we use dictionary. Okay, so and also you should have very good practical knowledge of applying these. Just give me 1 minute. So we were basically discussing in the previous class that was list. So we have covered these functions. Now the function that was remaining is insert. Okay, so we will go to the insert function. That insert function basically does what? It adds an element at the specified position. Okay, so similarly, as I am storing my files, so similarly you can also store your files. Okay, like day one, day two, day three, and all of the code I am saying. So you can also practice. Keep all the assignment at one place. Keep all the projects at one place, so that it would be easy for you when you find something related to apply in your project or any part of your program. So next, today we will have the example of list functions. So today we will cover following functions. So first will be index, and then insert, and now remove, pop. Okay. So this index, insert, remove, pop are basically related to what? They are related to inserting or deleting item from the list. But index is what? Index basically returns you. First is index. So index method does what? Returns you the first occurrence of first occurrence of an element in the list. So it will basically return you what? Returns you the first occurrence index of returns you the index of first occurrence of an element in the list. Okay. So suppose that you have a list, sample list that is equal to 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And if you write here print list example dot index of, suppose that we want to find 3 is present where this 3 is present. So if you write here list example dot index of 3, then you will get the position that is basically the index of this 3. So it is giving you 2. Now just try to run this program for 5. We know that 5 is not present here. So what happened in this case? It will give you exception. It gives what? It throws exception. Exception. So this index is not safe for using the program. Using in the program, if you don't know that this value exists or not in the list. Okay. So that's what there would what exception is what it means. Writing throws exception means that your program will be terminated here. Means your there is an exception occurred in your program. So any line below it will be not executed. So that's why we will not use index for our purpose. So there is another way. So that is called as find. So find also works like this index function, but if the element is not present, then it will not throws the exception. Instead, it will return you. Suppose that if we write here list example dot find, suppose that we want to find 3, then we'll get here what? We'll get the index of the 3. So now you can see that it is giving you error. Okay, so this find is also not working. Okay, so I think this find basically don't work in the list in the case. Yeah, so there should be a safe way. So you can just write here first what can be the best way. So simply you will write here what do you want to check? 3. So 3 in. So membership operators I told you. So you can use the membership operator. So if 3 in the list example, then you will get true. Then if this is returning you true, then you can use the index function. Okay, so find function basically don't works here. Find function only work in the string. So next you can what you can use. So simply you can write if this element is present in the list, then it will return you true. Then you can use the index function, then it will not you throws any exception. So what could be the best way? So if 3 in list example, then we will use here print what? Index of. So this is by using if else. Okay, you can only do this by using the if else. So what this is returning? Okay, not 5. So we will write here 3. It is returning you 2. So this program will not don't it will not give you the exception. Next you can run this program for 5 also. So it is safe now. So this condition will be false, then it will be not executed. So don't care about this. We have not covered right now if else. So just I was giving you the example how can you do this. Okay, So I'm just commenting this. So you will see in the later class. So next function is insert function. So insert does what? Insert basically insert inserts item insert item in the list at any particular position. Okay. Suppose that you have this list. Okay. Now you want insert an element in this list. So you can write here print and then list example dot insert, sorry, insert, and then here you need to pass. First, you need to pass the index. You can see that it is suggesting you. First, you need to pass the index where you want to put the element, and then you will pass here the object, means the element. So, suppose that you know that this is 0 position, okay, and this is 1 position, and this is 2 index, and this is 3 index. We want to put 5, so we are passing here 5, and we want to put this at 2 index. Okay, so we will pass here 2. So now what will happen? This there are two value will be appended here, and then 3 4 will be in the list. Now if you run your program, so it will not return anything. So you cannot print this. So you will write here print and list example. Now you can see your updated list. So now here you can see that it is printing you 1 2 5 3 4. So 5 has been added at the 2 index. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Now next method is first next method we will have in pop. Okay. So pop basically does what? It removes the last item from the it removes last item from the list. So suppose that if you write, so suppose that our list is this. Okay, and if we write here print and then list example dot pop, it will not print anything. Just we don't write this here. We will write then print and then list example. Here you can see that 4 has been removed from the list. Okay. Next method is what? Remove. So it is again very simple. So we are using the means we are using the remove method in this list. So you can just type list example dot remove, and then so this remove does what? It basically deletes an item from the list. So suppose that if you write here 2, then 2 will be deleted from the list. So now if you print your list, I can see that your list will be, you can see that 2 has been deleted. Okay, but try to delete here 7, that is not present in the list. Then what will happen? It will throws you exception. So this is again not safe. Remove method is again not safe. If item will be not present in the list, then it will give you exception. Okay, so we can write here remove function is not safe. So what will be the best approach? Then you will do the same thing. First you will find that yeah, this 7 is present in this list or not by using membership operator, and then you can delete the item from if the list contains that item, then you can remove. Okay. Yeah, so one function is sort. Sort does what? Sort basically sorts the list in ascending order. So it sorts the list in the ascending order. So suppose that we have a list, okay, list example, and here we have value like this. So if you want to sort this list in this ascending in the ascending order, then you can write here list example dot sort, and then when you print your list, okay, so this is giving error. So you can see that your list has been sorted. Now you can means you can ask me, this is ascending order, so how can we sort the list in the descending order? Okay, so suppose that we have list, then we can write here reverse function. So this is firstly we are sorting and then we are reversing this. Okay, so after reversing you will get the sorted list in the descending order. Now you can see that it is giving you in the descending order. It is clear, everyone?
Clear, sir.
Okay. So we have covered all the most important functions that are present in case of list. Okay. So your task is to practice on this list. So next we will have introduction about the next data type, that is tuple. So a very simple example of tuple is what? This, so whenever you create any tuple, then you will use here parenthesis and then you will pass here the value. So tuple is nothing but a sequence of data, okay, but they are immutable. Immutable means you cannot change any element present in tuple. Okay, not any element. You cannot change any element present at any particular position. Okay, means the position of every element will be fixed in the tuple. So they are called as immutable. So a very simple example of the tuple is this, and slicing indexing works similarly as list. So I'm mentioning here what slicing indexing works similarly as list. Means as you are applying slicing in case of list, indexing, so you can use the same rule here also. Next is index assignment is not allowed here because tuple are immutable. So as in case of string, I told you that you cannot mutate and mutate a string. You cannot change any character present at any particular position in the string. Okay. Similarly, you cannot use assignment in case of tuple. Okay. So now we are going to have the example of tuple. Now you can print your tuple. 1 2 3 4, so it is printing you tuple. And if you print here the type of tuple, you will get the result. It is printing you tuple. Okay, so this is all about. Now If you want to access any element, then you will use what? Indexing. Now we are going to see the example of indexing. So suppose that we have this tuple, okay, and we know that what is indexing. So it is 0, this is 1, this is 2 position, and this is 3 position. Now if you print tuple example and then 2, you will get 3. You will get the value percentage at 2 index. So 3 is present, so you are getting. Similarly, if I write here tuple example 3. Can you guess the answer? Anybody?
No, sir.
No. Miss indexing, I think I have completed this indexing in case of, yes, in case of string and list. Okay. So the indexing is basically same everywhere. The same rule is for string, same rule is for list, same rule is for tuple also. Okay, so you know that if we talk about a list, so so what are the position of this? Means suppose that if we have a list, then if you write list 1 2 3 4, then the position will be 0 1 2 3. Similarly, in case of tuple also, the position of first element will be 0, next will be 1, next will be 2, and next will be 3. So 0 1 2 3. So the item present in 2 indexes what? 3, and similarly the item present is 3 indexes what? 4. Just try to remember this. Okay, so everywhere the rule is same. Now if I write print and then tuple example 1, can you guess the answer? No? That's correct, correct everyone. So this you will get 2. So this is what? This is indexing. Next will be slicing. Slicing will be again similar. So I told you slicing works. How slicing works? Basically, you simply write here the list or set name, sorry, tuple name, and then you will pass here the start to stop value. Okay, we will pass here what? It start to stop value. Then you will get the elements from. Then you will get the elements from start to stop minus 1. Okay, so if we write here print and then for example and then 1 to 5. So what will you get? So you will get the value from 1 to so suppose that here we are writing 1 to 4. So we will get the value from 1 to 3. So what is the value present is 1 to 3. So this is present 1 to 3. Okay. Now here you will get 2 3 4. So it is returning you 2 3 4. So now suppose that if I take a tuple, okay, and now here we write print tuple example and then 3 to 5 or 3 to 6. Can you guess the answer? You will get the value from 3 to 5 index. So what is the value present is 3 index. So this is 0, 1, 2, 3. So 3 to 5 will be what? 4, 5, 6. So we'll get here 4, 5, 6. Correct. So we will get here 4, 5, 6. So this is slicing. Again, slicing is similar as we have discussed in case of string, in case of list. So slicing is similar. Now this is all about tuple. Now if you try to add any element in the tuple or you try to delete any element from the tuple, you cannot do, because addition or deletion of any element in the tuple does not exist. So suppose that if you write here tuple example dot like something add, or tuple example dot remove. So these things not exist. So you cannot mutate a tuple. You cannot add any element. You cannot delete any element. So addition and addition and deletion of element in tuple is not supported. Is not supported. Now you can think that when should you use list and when should you use tuple. So now we are going to discuss that. So there are two methods that are available for tuple. First is count. So suppose that if you want to count how many time any particular element is present, so you can use the count function. It will return you the number of time an element is present in the tuple. Next is index. So if you want to check what is the index of any item, then you can check. So these there are two methods that are present in the tuple. So what is the application of tuple? If you have data that doesn't change, what is the meaning of this? If you have data that doesn't change, implementing it as tuple will guarantee that it remains right protected. What is the meaning of this? So if you have any data that throughout your program you don't want to change that, so now in that case you can store that data in a tuple variable. Okay, no part of program can change your data. So this is the application of tuple. So now we are going to work with set. So before going to working with set, there was two method that was present in case of set. So we are going, so in case of tuple, so we are going to see that. So first was what? Count. So suppose that if you have a tuple like this, so suppose that we have 2 here 3 times. So if you want to count how many times 2 is present in the tuple, you can just write here print and then tuple example dot count and then 2. So it will return you the count of 2. So it is returning you 3. So 2 is present 3 times. So 1 is here and 1 is here and 1 is here. Next function is index. Index is same. It will returns the first occurrence, first index of element. For that we want to check 3 is present where. So you can just check by writing print and then tuple example dot index of what? Index of 3. So if you run, you will get 2. So it is telling you that 3 is present in the 2 index. So it is correct. Why? This is 0, this is 1, this is 2. So this is 3 is present in 2 index. That's why it is giving you. Now we will move to set. So set is what? Set is a collection which is unordered and unindexed. What is the meaning of this? Set is what? Set is a collection which is unordered and unindexed. It means that element will not have any particular position in case in set. Okay, and you can also don't you cannot use indexing in case of set, and no duplicate members are allowed in set. So there are three things. So first is it is unordered, means no element will have any particular position. An index means you cannot find any element using an index. Next is no duplicate members will be there in the set. If you want to create an empty set, so you will write simply empty set is equal to set, and in the parenthesis you will write curly braces, so that this will create you a empty set. Now if you want to print the type of this empty set, you will get the type as set. So creating a set, so suppose that you want to create a set where you want to store the company names like Facebook, Read My Course. Okay, so this by this way you can create a set. Firstly, you will write curly braces, and inside this curly braces, you will write the elements. Okay, so this is the example of creating sets. Now, I will go to the this. So suppose that we want to create a set is equal to set of curly braces. So this will be an empty set. There is no item present here. So if you print here the empty set, you will get it is printing you empty. Now we are creating a set. Suppose that 1, 2, 3. Okay. If you print your empty set, you will get here 1, 2, 3 now. Okay. So what will happen if your set, you are defining a set and you are adding a particular element more than one time. So what will happen in this case? If you print your set, then it will not have those it will count the element only for one time. If it is present for two times also, if it present is more than one time, so but that will be counted for one time only. Here you can see that it is returning you 1, 2, 3. Is this clear, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Clear.
Similarly, you can also create a set that can contains the company name like Facebook, and then read my course. And if you print your empty set, then you will get Facebook read my course. Now there are some rules that are associated with sets. It is called, firstly we are going to see the example of set operations. So what are set operations? Set operations are those operations which basically perform in two sets. Okay. Why did not change the order? Yes. So that's why I told you that. Yeah, so that's why I told you that if you are printing your empty set, it is printing you read my course and Facebook. So I told you that set is unordered. Unordered means no element has particular position in the set. So it will depend on the Python how it will print your data of if your data of set. Okay. So So now here you can see that our set was Facebook and read my course. Elements in our set was Facebook and read my course. But order was firstly we have Facebook and then we have read my course. But you when you print, now here you can see that read my course is first and Facebook is second. That's why it is following the rule what? No means list set items are not ordered. Okay. So you cannot say Facebook is present at the zero index and read my course is presented at one index. It depends on set how it will print your data. Okay, it is clear now. So next is set operations. So what are set operations? Set operations are those operations which basically performs between two sets. So suppose that first set operation is, suppose that we have two sets A and B. Okay. And if there is no any element common in these two sets, then we will say that A and B, set A and B are disjoint. What we will say? If no items are common in set A and set B, then we will say that A and B are disjoint. Next is, if every item of A is present in B, then we will say that B is the superset of set A. What we will say here? B is the superset of set A. Okay. Next is, these are set operations. So first set operation is union. I think all of you have already read this set operation in class 9th or 10th it was present. So first is union. So union does what? It takes the every item present in set A and set B. If you perform union, so it will return you every element present in set A and set B. Intersection, if you will perform intersection, then what it will give you? The items that are common to A and B only. Difference, if you write here A, difference of A with B, so it will give you only the items that are present in A, not in B. Okay, it will return you the items, the set of all values of A that are not member of B. Okay, symmetric difference is a set of all values which are in one of the sets but not both. What is the meaning of symmetric difference? It will return you the elements present in either A and B but not in both. Okay, so these are the basic four set operations that exist. So we will give now we will see one by one example of this. Before going to that, is this clear to you? Okay. So before going to that part, we just need to see the signs that we will use for union, intersection, and then difference, and then symmetric difference. So these are the symbols that is used. For union, we use this symbol. Next for uh, next for intersection, we use AND operator. For difference, we use minus operator, and for symmetric difference, we use upper arrow. Okay, so this operator. So these are the operators that we will use for operations in set. Okay. So suppose that firstly we have two sets, set 1, and in set 1 we have data 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. And in set we have set 2. In the set 2 we have data 3, 4, 5, 6. So if we want to perform union, we will write here result is equal to set 1 and then union set 2. What you guess? Okay. So suppose that we have two sets. So first is set 1 and second is set 2, and we want to perform the union, then we will write here what? Result is equal to set 1 union set 2. So union operator is what? This operator. I forgot what is. Okay, so I cannot write this here. I don't know why it is not adding this here. So union operator is this. So if you run your program and if you print your result, you will get 1 2 3 4 5 6. So our set 1 was this and set 2 was this. Now we are after running union, then we are getting 1 2 3 4 5 6. So I told you that union does what? It returns you all the items present in set 1 and set 2. Okay, so it is returning you 1 2 3 4 5 6. Next is intersection. So for intersection we use here AND operator. So we will write here result is equal to set 1 and set 2. Okay, and if you print your result, so you will get what? 3. You will get 3 and 4. So why we are getting 3 and 4? It means that intersection will always give you the items that are common to set 1 and set 2. So that's why 3 and 4 is only the items that are common to set 1 and set 2. So we are getting here 3 and 4. Okay. Yes. Next is difference. If for difference we use minus. So if we write here result is equal to set 1 minus set 2. So we will get here what? All the items that are present in set 1 not in set 2. So we will write here to print result. So you will get here what? 1 2. So it is returning 1 2. Why? So I told you set 1 minus set 2 will return items present in set 1 not in set 2. So items present in set 1 is what? 2 3 4 and not present in set 2, because set 3 and 4 is present here in the both, so you will get only 1 2. Okay, next is symmetric difference. Symmetric difference. For symmetric difference we use this symbol. Okay, so now here we will write result is equal to set 1 and symmetric difference set 2. So if you print here result, then you will get 1 2 5 6. Why you are getting 1 2 5 6? So symmetric difference will return you this all the elements present in set 1 and set 2 that are not common. Okay, means it will return you items present in either set 1 and set 2 but not in both. So you will get 1 2 and 5 6, not 3 and 4. Why? Because 3 and 4 are common. So you will get here 1 2 5 6. Is this clear everyone?
Yes, sir. Clear.
So this is our this is working with set and set operations. Now we have some methods that are present in case of sets. So first method is add. So this add method is basically used to add an element to the set. So we are going to see the example of this. Suppose that we have a set is equal to 1 2 3 and we want to add 4 here, then we can write here print and then set example. We are writing here set example dot add, and suppose that we want to add 4 here. Now if you print here the set, then you will get 1 2 3 4 and see that it is printing you 1 2 3 4. Okay, next function is clear. Clear removes all the elements from the set. So suppose that if you write here set example dot clear, then previously our set was 1 2 3, then we have added 1 2 3 4. Now we are clearing this. So if you run this program, we will get empty set. Okay, is copy. It returns a copy of the set. Okay. So suppose that you have a set example, this set example, and we want to copy. So we can use the copy functions dot copy. Okay, so it will return you copy of this set. If you print set example, then you will get 1, 2, 3. So now you can ask what is the use of this copy function. So copy function has the again the same application as we have seen in the list, in the case of list. So I told you that if you assign a different variable of set to another set, then what will happen in this case? If you change in any one of the set, then what will happen? Every set will be changed. So suppose that we have a set 1 is equal to 1, 2, and 3, and set 2 we have written set 2 is equal to set 1. Now we change the set 2 by writing set 2 dot add, suppose that 4. We have added 4 in the set 2 only, but now if you print set 1, print set 2, then 4 will be added in the both set. You can see that 134 is the set 1 is 134 and set 2 is also 134. Okay, so that's why to avoid this collision we use copy. So suppose that if you want to, we don't want to modify our initial set 1, so we can use the copy and then we can work on the copy so that our main set should be safe. Okay, it is clear everyone?
Yes, sir.
Next is difference. So difference is the same. It basically does what? It gives you the difference between set 1 and set 2. So we can use either minus operator or you can use the difference. So next is difference update. Okay. Next is discard. There are lots of functions remaining. Okay everyone, so we don't have time. Okay, so if you have any doubt in today's class you can ask. So I can take a break for the next class.